Okay, so to figure out the slope of the curve with this equation, we're going to need to use implicit differentiation and then plug in 1 for x and 2 for y. So what I'm going to do here is that I'll apply ddx and evaluate each element. But now the derivative of 2x squared is just going to be 2 times the derivative of x squared, right? You can just do that. You can remove the constant from within the derivative because that's a property of derivatives. And very similarly, you can rewrite this as minus 3 d dx of x times y plus d dx of xy squared equals, now the derivative of 0 is just 0. Great. Now, what is the derivative of x squared? Just 2x, right? You just need to bring down the 2 multiplied by x and then subtract 1 from the exponent. And there's still a 2 here multiplying. Great. Now, for this, I will need to use the product rule of derivatives. And why is that? Because we have 2 different functions, right? We have x and we have y, so let's do this. I'm going to put some brackets around here. So I'm going to have d dx of x times y plus x times the derivative, or d dx of y. And that's it. Now I can close the brackets. Over here, I'm going to have to do the same. Let me just quickly rewrite that. There we go. I also need to use the product rule because I have x times y squared. And I gave myself very little room, unfortunately. So let's try to squeeze it all in. So d dx of x times y squared. Okay, well, just continue down below. Plus x times the derivative, or d dx of y squared, equals 0. Great, so now let's just simplify everything. 2 times 2x is just 4x. Now over here, I have the minus 3 times d dx of x is just 1. So I get 1 times y plus x times d dx of y. That's actually just dy dx. Is that okay? So every time that we're just taking the derivative with respect to x of y, we just get dy dx, which is eventually what we want to isolate. Okay, now what about the derivative of x? That's just 1, right? The derivative of x is just 1 times y squared plus x times, now, d dx of y squared. What happens here? Well, first we're going to need to take the derivative of y squared and then multiply it by dy dx. Every time you take the derivative of an element with a y, that will happen. So what's the derivative of y squared? I just bring down the 2 times y, subtract 1 from the exponent, so that's just 2y, and we multiply by dy dx. And that's just equal to 0. Great. Now what do we do? Now we can plug in the 1 for x and the 2 for y. So that'll be 4 times 1 minus 3. 1 times y, and y is 2, so 1 times 2, 2. Plus x, which is 1 times dy dx. Now, plus 1 times y squared is just y squared. 2 squared is 4. Plug in the 2 for y. Plus 1 times 2. 1 times 2 times 2 again, because that's the y, times dy dx equals 0. Great, so now let's simplify everything. Obviously, I gave myself very little room to finish everything. 4 minus, now distribute this, so get minus 6, and then minus 3 times 1 times dy dx, so that's going to be minus 3 dy dx plus 4, and 2 times 2, 4 dy dx. So plus 4 dy dx equals 0. Now, if I combine all these elements, I just get 4 minus 6, negative 2, plus 4, 2. Took a little while there. Just wanted to make sure in my head, of course. Then I have negative 3 dy dx plus 4 dy dx. Negative 3 plus 4, that's 1. So get just dy over dx equals 0. Then I subtract 2 from both sides, and dy dx will be c. That's it.